uh, Eric J. Heckler, which is one that we've already agreed to do before information. So that Danny Sheehan and Mark D'Antonio, as you know, are really rounding out season one. And but I would put, I'm going to do my best. I will do my best.
How do you how would you perceive about Russia and China about their crash sites? I'm sure you've heard of something like that.
Yep. While I was in the program, I didn't hear of any interaction with either of those countries.
So he keeps calling it the program.
I believe they would be just as interested in it as we are. I think I've heard China was standing up their own UAP program, and probably Russia has had that at one point or another because of some of the documents that got leaked out of their country once the Berlin Wall came down, and somebody came back to the United States with some of their UAP records. So I know that they've had a program as well. How successful those are, I really don't know. I would like to think that America's better at it than anybody else at this point. And I think that kind of rings true also for the NHIs. That
even better because I can just
they look more for
talk to
societies like America that are not. I don't know how to put it. They're a little bit more free in being allowed to discuss these sorts of things and to get to a place where people are not going to be shot and locked up in jail just for doing the things that they naturally do. Because in China, you could easily get in jail just for speaking badly about their own government, or Russia for that matter. And I think that's something that they need to think about because, you know, it's okay to let people speak their minds. I mean, that's what we do. We communicate. And if you can't accept other people's ideas, that's kind of on you as to whether you're acceptable to be part of that conversation or you're accepting of it. Because, you know, who wants to be in a conversation with somebody who's refusing to hear anybody else's side of the story? So that's all I have to say about China and Russia. That they're probably going
for season 2, guys.
In their own societies that may be hampering any UAP work and contact with NHIs, and they might be actually hurting themselves by being a bit too tyrannical in certain ways.
Well said. Rick, did you have a follow-up? And if not, Rob, you sound like a robot.
Oh my God.
So Jason, is that the CIA right there? Or is that something else?
I was gonna say, come on.
I don't know what that is. That's Rob being Optimus Prime.
That's not Optimus. Optimus has a real cool voice.
I couldn't understand anything he said. Is anybody in the same room with him that can understand him?
He's hosting this room. I can't understand anything.
Oh, he's hosting.
Private message him, Kimber.
Yeah,
okay.
Do something like that.
Just.
Because I'd love to answer him.
Ulrich, why don't you go ahead?
Hey, you guys, Rob, Astro UFO Intros is awesome. You're hosting the space. Jason Sands, thanks so much for speaking to us, man.
Okay.
I should talk to his quality. He's running it.
I wanted to know,
made it possible.
What can you tell us about basically this battle that we're watching split within the DoD and between the DoD and Congress as it relates to, and if you already answered this, then I have many other questions, but what is going on here where we're getting one message from Arrow saying that there's no real evidence of these things, especially if Arrow vetted you, then ICIG saying we need to investigate this more heavily, and then the Grush allegations implying contractors hiding their reverse engineering programs from the government itself. What is actually happening here in the government?
Okay, well, first let me make the announcement. I did send Rob, I sent you a direct message with that firsthand website that I'm trying to get started for other whistleblowers to come forward. as well as just to inform the public. I think that's the other charter we're trying to get started.
Yeah,
So,
Rob, I'm sure we'll share that soon,
okay.
especially if it's that secondhand stuff, because that's so important. He did want me to tell you to check your DMs,
I agree
Jason,
about
but you can get to that
the messing with
maybe in a minute.
How would you
stuff
do
like
Well,
that.
anyway, I'll
Yeah,
do
I
that
do
here
really
in a
think it
second. Let me
happened.
answer this question first.
That's
The
why I think
DoD
that
in
shows
Congress, number one,
like ours.
I would say that,
Do talk about these
as
kind
I
of
was saying
topics.
earlier, they
Heavily
have
limited in
all
the
of the
algorithm on YouTube
testimonies at their
and
disposal.
on
They
Twitter.
have
It's not like that.
literally all of the information that we could possibly hand them as whistleblowers. I think also that cadre of whistleblowers is the largest and most credible that our nation has ever seen in Congress to date. All at one time having very similar concerns about this program. Now, the messaging between DOD and Congress, I think you can expect that DOD, certain parts of it are going to only be involved in that program. But if those program people are trying to influence things, I can probably guarantee you that it's not going to be one of letting all of this go public without a lot of fight. So I think it's safe to say that when DOD discusses this topic with Congress, there may be some taint to deal with because they've been dealing with this program for many years, decades, and they have always dealt with it a certain way, which is to pretty much deny that it exists. And I think that's something they're comfortable with, and that's to be expected that they would continue in that vein. And I think that's the way that they are handling it with Congress. So you're talking to Congress. Also, they're coming to talk to congressmen and congresswomen that don't know the program, and it's easy to pull the wool over their eyes and make it seem like, oh yeah, sure, there's a program, but it reverse engineers only things from our adversaries. There's nothing about UFOs in it. There's nothing about NHIs in it. You know, it's easy to make that, and they could even walk you into some of the installations. You know, people from the program could walk Congress people into those installations and hide everything that has to deal with NHIs and UAP. So even going to the facilities would be a problem. So this is a bigger problem that we're going to have to tackle.
Absolutely agree.
And it's going to be something we have to think through very thoroughly. And or DOD needs to just realize that, you know, people like myself, we're not looking to be adversarial about it. We're not looking to give away all the state secrets. We just want to get to a better place. And if you're willing to talk, then let's talk. Let's stop playing the old, you know, hide the whatever from each other game and hide the cheese or whatever you want to call it.
So,
weird.
Speaking in English now.
You are.
And Jason, you work for you work for the program that Grush is speaking of, one that has contractor involvement.
What, currently? No, I did.
You did, yeah, you did.
You did.
And so Grush is alleging that there's embezzlement of funds involved in these
Yes.
programs.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and that's part of my concern as well. I mean, honestly, if I was put on the stand right now in front of Congress, I'd be telling them, all right, guys, you know, you don't believe me. Well, where's all the freaking money? Did you answer that? Did Arrow answer that?
Did you just cut out? It's still playing.
All of you are like, we are going to shake the hands. So,
What?
go ahead, Rick Ford.
What just happened?
yes, just recently, I was listening to a
What is going on? So this isn't on my end, guys, just so you know. Oh, now it is actually. Just as I said that. But it's not.
Yeah, Robbie, they're trying to speak right now, but there seems to be having trouble with the feed from what I'm seeing.
Okay.
I mean,
I
it's hard to
wanted to make
believe
sure that it
there's,
wasn't me.
you know,
I'm like, wait.
324 people watching our feed right now, Rob. And overall, with
The U.S.
there's another
Crashes
Yeah, we're at
occur
over
anywhere on Earth,
150 right now.
whether they be from an adversarial nation or otherwise.
space that's been
So
going on for a while.
our allies are much stronger in that regard by working together. So yeah, I'd be willing to talk to anybody in Europe that has a government that's willing to tackle this. I'd be willing to talk to the UK, Australia, whoever, just to get them on board and see what we can do together. So I'd say that, yeah, maybe they've got some stuff, and whether or not they've shared it with us, I don't know. We just haven't developed the program that far, or maybe we have and I'm not aware of it, because maybe that was something that came about after the 1990s when I was in the program. Maybe they've, developed some really good friendships in that regard.
Yes, indeed.
So that would be my response. So yeah, let's work with our allies, man. That's a good thing.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Rick. Let's go to Lou Reviews.
Oh, here we go.
Thanks. I'll be 100% honest with you, Jason.
All right, guys, I paused it. I am just about to warn you. Lou Reviews is one of these very, very hard skeptics. One of these very, very starts from a negative perspective, goes in. So this will probably be interesting.
I, like a lot of people in this conversation, I'm very skeptical of the things you're saying.
Right off the bat,
I have so many questions for you that wouldn't be appropriate in a space like this, because I know a lot of people are waiting in line. I would love to speak with you on my show if you'd ever consider doing something like that.
Oh my God. Wow.
If the things that you're saying are true, then there should be no fear of answering any questions.
Way to plug
I will
yourself,
say,
buddy.
you keep referring to the ICIG and to the Aero Office and to lawmakers as they have verified who you are. And I believe you are telling the truth when you say that. But my issue is that they have not verified the claims that you are making. Nobody has verified the claims that you're making from an official standpoint. And they could verify those things without
fair question,
revealing classified information or sources and methods. Not one lawmaker, not one person from Aero, and not one congressional person at all have come forward and said, yes, we have a whistleblower that has given us information that we believe to be credible, and his name and his identity will be coming out soon. And this idea that we're whistleblowing and the way we're doing it is through a James Fox movie. Like, to me, that's not the way.
Oh no. Oh, good news. It's on my side. Yay. This time it's me with the failure.
To get this truth out there. If it was genuine, hard data backed truth.
Come on, dude. What is going on tonight?
I could be wrong on that, but that's what I want to explore with you if you'd be open to that.
Well, I'll consider it. And like I said before, everything I've told them in the classified environment is the stuff that honestly
to try to get
I feel they did a disservice with, because if they had gone to the places and even taken me with them, they would.
If I had the opportunity, I just paused it. If I had the opportunity as a